How's it going today? I'm here with my WWE NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 review. Of course, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn aired on the WWE Network tonight. And overall, I gotta say, coming out of NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4, I thought it was a damn great show. You know, I don't think it lived up to the last two takeovers, of course, being New Orleans and Chicago 2. I don't think it lives up to those shows at all. But I still felt like it was a very fun show. You know, it flew right by, honestly. It was about 2 hours and 40 minutes, and it just flew right by just like that. I thought it had 3 great matches. The other 2 matches, you know, one I thought was really good, but not nearly as good as some other people thought. And the other one was kind of just there if you asked me. But besides that, like I said, one hell of a time for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. Great show as always. And yeah, SummerSlam definitely won't probably top this show, to be perfectly honest, tomorrow night. I try to be optimistic about that. You know, I'm not going to be one of these people saying like, oh yep, SummerSlam's definitely going to be better. But honestly, let's be real, it's probably not. But, you know, we can hope that's going to be better, but realistically, probably won't be. But yeah, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4, like I said, that was a damn great show. Really enjoyed it, and yeah, definitely had a fun time watching. Of course, the opening match of the show was the NXT Tag Team Championship match. Of course, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick defending against Moustache Mountain. Right from the get-go, this match was just great. Honestly, my personal match of the night, this was the match I enjoyed the absolute most. I thought it was a great match. You know, the trilogy of these two teams have just been a phenomenal trilogy. If you have not seen 3 matches from these 2 tag teams, definitely go check them out. Probably one of the best tag team trilogies you'll ever see in wrestling, honestly. And I'm not just saying that. I just honestly feel like this is probably one of the best trilogies you'll ever see in tag team wrestling. But yeah, this match right from the get-go, early on, Roderick Strong and, you know, Kyle O'Reilly try to isolate Trent Seven from Tyler Bate. You know, try to work on Trent Seven's leg, of course. That was the whole story, you know, from the last match as well, was, you know, them working on Trent Seven's leg. So that's, of course, they try to do here. Tyler Bate just looked absolutely phenomenal this match, might I add. He had a hot tag, 2 hot tags, actually, might I add. The first one was pretty good. You know, did the airplane spin with O'Reilly on his shoulders while he had Roderick Strong on his, doing the spin to Roderick Strong. Then Roderick Strong just, you know, kicked the shit out of Tyler Bate. But then Tyler Bate just, you know, kind of shook it off with Kyle O'Reilly still on his shoulders and just deadlifted German suplex Roderick Strong while Kyle O'Reilly was on his shoulders still, with, trying to lock in a super hold. I thought that was a great spot right there. He had some great offense from this dude era, just really isolating, you know, Tyler Bate at one point from Trent Seven. Trent Seven playing in the fact that, you know, they were working on Tyler Bate's leg, you know, which is good. They worked on both legs. They worked on Trent Seven's and then went over to Tyler Bates' leg, so I thought that was a great transition, and to keep the consistency of, you know, Undisputed Era working on the legs. So they worked on Tyler Bates' leg to the point where Trent Seven actually grabbed the towel. You know, debated about throwing it in because that was the finish of the last match, of course, was, you know, Trent Seven or Tyler Bates throwing the towel for Trent Seven. He debated about throwing it in, ended up not doing it. You know, ended up getting a hot tag, ran rough shot on both Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. Some nice, great near falls. You know, hit the 7 stars Larry at one point for a great near fall right there. Tyler Bate, the Tyler Driver 97 at one point as well in the match for a very nice. See, I'm all excited for this match being tongue tied. I apologize for that. For a nice, great near fall. So there's a lot of great near falls, a lot of great consistencies from the previous matches, and continuing, and just, you know, great callbacks. Just a lot of great action. If you've seen all 3 matches, they all complement each other very, very well. So that was a great example here. And at one point, Tyler Bate got the hot tag, just absolutely ran rough shot. Did a great spot where he gave Roderick Strong an exploder suplex, and Roderick Strong kind of rolled in the ropes, and then he gave an exploder suplex to Kyle O'Reilly into Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong just flew out of the ring, went on the outside, did his infamous, you know, off the ropes rebound lariat on the outside, off the apron ropes, you know, to the outside onto Roderick Strong. Great spot right there, I thought. And at one point, you know, Moustache Mountain looked like they had the win. You know, they hit the Burning Hammer, you know, knee combination for a great near fall, which wasn't the finish. And then, of course, you know, at the end, you know, Undisputed Era ended up getting the numbers game on Trent Seven, ended up hitting their finish, which was the running knee followed by the leg sweep by O'Reilly for the victory and to retain the tag team title. So a fucking amazing opener right here. So many great spots. Like I said, a lot of great callbacks from the first 2 matches, and just, you know, the crowd's red hot, and just a lot of great stuff from all 4 men in both tag teams. So like I said, my personal match tonight on the show, really enjoyed it. Thought it was a fantastic match. So definitely was a phenomenal way to start off the show. Then of course after the match, pretty much when Undisputed Era were celebrating their win over Moustache Mountain, who other than War Raiders to come out behind them and basically attack them and pretty much, you know, annihilate them. O'Reilly went flying up in the air with a huge, you know, not a scoop slam, but just, you know, elevated slam, boom. from the War Raiders, and War Raiders pretty much made their statement clear that they're going after the NXT Tag Team titles, which is good. War Raiders really haven't done anything in NXT so far, so I feel like this is definitely a good step, and hopefully they develop their characters as well with their feud in Undisputed Era. So I thought War Raiders coming out attacking them, even though it was a repeat of last year's when Undisputed Era pretty much came out, Fish and O'Reilly came out to attack Sanity. It's just a repeat, but you know what? I don't mind it. It's definitely good progression, so it definitely intrigues me to see, Undisputed Era take on two powerhouses in the War Raiders. So definitely is a feud that I'm interested in seeing going forward. The next match we had after that was EC3 taking on the Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream coming out with Call Me Up Vince on his tights. Come on, that's next level shit right there. Like, Velveteen Dream, say what you want, but just the way this guy carries himself, it's absolutely great. But the match itself was good. It was pretty much a battle of the characters. They were really just playing out their characters, which I don't mind. It was fine, but I just felt like there was too many neck breakers. Too many DDTs. Velveteen Dream did a great, DDT on the apron, or not the apron, the ramp at one point in the match. So that was kind of a turning point in the match. At that point, the match really wasn't anything special until that point, and then they started picking up some more. But I just felt like there was a lot of spamming the same stuff. Velveteen Dream was overselling very, very much in this match. I felt he was going way over the top, which sometimes I don't mind overselling, which actually most of the time I don't mind it because it comes off great, but I just felt like it got to the point where I was like, okay, you can stop doing that now. It was just overkilling it at that point, if you ask me. But match was, like I said, was whatever. Picked up towards the end. EC3 hit, trifecta power bombs, or 3 of them in a row. Velveteen Dream, was able to hit the DVD onto the apron, followed by the Purple Rainmaker off the top onto the apron to secure the win against EC3, which I was very surprised by. I honestly thought 100% that EC3 was going to win this match. EC3 really hasn't had that big of a win yet, especially on a TakeOver since coming back to WWE. And I was surprised to see him lose. So Velveteen Dream took the win against EC3. Like I said, that was a good match. Didn't really, wasn't all that great, but it wasn't bad. It felt more like a regular TV match, honestly, if anything. But yeah, the finish was awesome. The last couple minutes was really good, but besides that match itself, really wasn't anything special. So that was that. And of course, after this match, we had the debut, of course, the crowd sitting debut of Matt Riddle. Bro! Matt Riddle is finally here in NXT, and I couldn't be any more hyped for him. Matt Riddle has always been awesome. I've always been a fan of his, and he's one person I've always wanted to see in WWE. But with his track record and just the way he is personally, I just never thought WWE would give him the time of day, especially considering that they wouldn't even let him wrestle at WrestleMania Access this year. Out of all the Evolve guys. So the fact that WWE has changed their mind and signed him, and I think he can be a huge player in NXT, I'm very excited. So I'm very excited for the future of Matt Riddle. The bro is finally here. The king of bros. NXT is bro. All these different nicknames you want to go ahead and say about him joining, go ahead. But Matt Riddle is finally here, and he has arrived, and I couldn't be more excited for him. So Matt Riddle in NXT, very excited about that. And then of course after that we go to the NXT North American Championship match. Adam Cole, baby, defending against Ricochet. Another great match right here. These two just went out there and just tore the house down with a fantastic match. It was kind of slow at the beginning. Adam Cole doing infamous Adam Cole things, which is, chin locks, not really too much going on. But Ricochet, he's just absolutely unreal. The way he was countering things, just the way he was smoothly, just bouncing off the ropes, and just, his agility and just the way he carried himself was just absolutely tremendous. And I felt like, he really carried this match for the most part. Towards the middle, that's when it started picking up and getting more 50-50 and started, really getting the ball rolling. They did a fantastic sequence where they're just super kick and then Inscary, and just they just kept nailing each other with some kind of maneuver. And I thought that was a great sequence him and Cole had in the match. Amazing spot where Ricochet goes for a handspring, but when he goes, does the handspring off, Cole just jumps, catches him midair for a beautiful backstabber, which just looked absolutely awesome. That came off greatly. And not to mention that the phenomenal, another thing about this match as well that I really liked, that it kind of resembled the opening match, was there was some great callbacks. Now, they haven't had any singles match in the NXT, but they called back to the TakeOver New Orleans match, of course, in the ladder match. So I thought that was great, where Ricochet went for a springboard, but Adam Cole went for the super kick, but, Ricochet prevented it from happening. Or when he landed, he caught his foot, so he didn't get super kick. So I thought that's a great callback to the TakeOver New Orleans match, because that's when Adam Cole did the super kick barrage. So I thought that was a great callback. Some great stuff. Ricochet did a springboard or a moonsault, which Adam Cole hit him with a super kick while he was back or upside down. Fucking amazing spot right there when Adam Cole just absolutely annihilated him. But Ricochet was able to outsmart Adam Cole. Adam Cole went for the last shot. Ricochet was able to duck it and actually hit Adam Cole with a huge reverse hurricanrana. Went for the 630. Adam Cole rolled out of the ring. Adam Cole thought he was smart. He stood on the apron, kind of just saying like, yeah, I'm a smart man. Ricochet wasn't having it. Ricochet ran, hit him with the hurricanrana off the apron to the outside, threw Adam Cole back in the ring, hit the 630 senton for the 1, 2, 3, and Ricochet is the brand new NXT North American Champion. very, very happy about that. You know, I love Adam Cole, but I felt like Ricochet winning the championship here was the right decision to do. So I am happy Ricochet won, and it was an amazing moment. You know, especially Ricochet on the stage with his little like lights going down on him with him holding the championship. That was a great shot right there at the end. But just killer match. Like I said, Ricochet is unreal. Adam Cole, love the guy. You know, he's been great, but, you know, I feel like it's time for him to drop championship. Even though he hasn't been champion very long, it's only been 4 months, but I just feel like a change was needed, and Ricochet, you know, I feel like he needed something at this point, and I feel like the NXT Championship was a great opportunity. NXT North American Championship, I should say. It was a great opportunity to present him and, you know, having him going forward. So, Ricochet wins, like I said, awesome match. Really enjoyed that one. From there, we go to the NXT Women's Championship. Of course, Shayna Baszler defending against Kairi Sane. Personally, I wasn't a fan of this match. I saw a lot of people really enjoying it, and I probably obviously did not enjoy it more than most people. You know, I wasn't into it. You know, I know the story of it, with, you know, which was, you know, the whole thing was, you know, Shayna Baszler had killer instinct. Kairi Sane didn't have what it took inside of her to beat, you know, Shayna Baszler. So I understood the story, but I don't know. I guess because I don't watch NXT Weekly, I just really wasn't developing into it. Of course, Shayna Baszler, you know, pretty much targeting the knee of Kairi Sane throughout the entire match. You know, there's a lot of variations, knee bars she was putting on her that I was cringing at because that shit looked pretty fucking painful. But, you know, of course, Kairi Sane fired back. She was just, you can tell, which Kairi Sane's selling, by the way, was absolutely fantastic this match. Like, just the facial expressions, the way she'd sell the moves, you know, especially after the match when she won, I thought she sold that fantastically as well. So Kairi Sane definitely was the MVP of this match, the way she was selling, but Shayna Baszler held her own. Like I said, she was isolating, working the lead. You know, Kairi Sane had a nice, great comeback, actually. You know, hit the insane elbow drop, which, you know, Shayna Baszler kicked out of, which I saw a lot of people got pissed off about that, but me personally, I'm like, it's WWE, what can you expect? She goes to the outside, you know, Kairi Sane does an, you know, insane elbow, or not insane elbow drop, a crossbody to the outside on Shayna Baszler, gets back in the ring, Shayna Baszler goes for the, she goes for the insane elbow drop one more time, goes for it, Shayna Baszler kicks her elbow midair, she's selling it, you know, of course, Shayna Baszler goes for the submission hold, but of course, when she goes for it, the clutch, Kairi Sane pretty much just flips over and pins her 1, 2, 3 and defeats Shayna Baszler. And pretty much the finish was pretty much the exact same finish that Shayna and Ember had at TakeOver Philadelphia. But I thought it worked in this instance. You know, protected Shayna, and, you know, gave Kairi Sane the championship win. So I didn't mind it at all. I was just kind of surprised because Shayna really has been champion that long. Again, she's only been champion for 4 months, so I thought she definitely had a lot more in NXT, if you ask me. If they call her up this week, then to me that's a mistake, but she definitely has a lot more to go left in NXT, if you ask me. But yeah, I thought it was a really good match still. I'm not taking anything away from it. I still thought it was very good. I just didn't enjoy it as much as others. But like I said, Kairi Sane selling the win at the end as well was great. You know, she was barely standing. She was very emotional. It was a great moment for her. So even though I didn't necessarily want her to win the championship here, you can't take away the moment she had. So definitely very happy for her. And like I said, I thought it was a very good match still, but just I didn't enjoy it as much as others. And then of course, go to our main event, which was originally supposed to be a triple threat match for the NXT Championship. Tommaso Ciampa defending against, of course, Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano. But of course, the whole situation with Aleister Black being attacked, which in reality is just injured, so you know he couldn't wrestle. It was made into a last man standing match for the NXT Championship. Of course, Tommaso Ciampa defending against Johnny Gargano. Gargano Ciampa 3 at Brooklyn 4. And the match itself was a great match. Now, does it hold up to the first 2 matches? No, it doesn't. You know, it's not as good as the first 2 matches. But I think the more fault is because of stipulation, because it's really impossible to have an amazing last man standing match, just because it's hard to believe the near falls and, you know, or they're not near falls, but like the near countouts, and you have the predictable countouts where they're at 9 and they're dead, and all of a sudden they just pop up at 9. It's like, you know, last man standing matches are really tricky to get around and really make work, but they definitely went out there and made it work. You know, they basically wanted to be the show like they've done the last 2 matches. They had some callbacks to the other 2 matches. They recreated some spots they had in the last 2 matches as well, which is kind of like, come on, do something different. But at the same time, when you're having these type of matches, especially for the 3rd time, it's kind of hard to be creative and do different things. So I don't really fault them that much for not being so creative. But there's some great spots. You know, Ciampa gave Gargano a crash air raid through the announce table, which was, you know, very early on in the match. You know, of course, the crutch got introduced in the match as well. Handcuffs, fire extinguisher, tables were involved. You know, of course, Ciampa did the callback where, you know, of course, Gargano ripped up the apron or the ring up at Chicago, and then of course Ciampa did it to try and drape DDT on the wood, but Gargano ended up giving him the DDT, so it gave, you know, Ciampa pretty much a taste of his own medicine, which again thought was a great little callback to their Chicago match. There's some other great spots. You know, the steel steps got involved. Ciampa hit his finish off the steel steps, which came off greatly. There's 2 tables where Gargano super kicked Ciampa through the tables, which I thought was great. Handcuffs got involved. You know, Gargano that's actually led to the finish was the handcuffs. But yeah, it was a brutal main event. They did some great spots. You know, Ciampa literally buried Gargano at one point when he did a running knee with a steel chair through the barricade after Gargano absolutely killed someone with a super kick, buried him and the person, you know, into it. But of course, Gargano got up before the count of 10, so that was great right there. Of course, they made their way up onto the ramp, in which Gargano pretty much just recreated their TakeOver Chicago moment with Ciampa turning on him and just threw him into the stage, you know, and then handcuffing him to the side of the stage, which I thought was odd. Handcuffed him, pretty much super kicked Ciampa a few times, and of course he went to finish him off with the running knee that Ciampa does. And Ciampa's just pleading for his life at this point, like, please, I'm sorry. Gargano just not giving in. He's saying, no, what, fuck you, I don't care if you're sorry. I'm ending you and I'm winning the championship. Hits a running knee on Ciampa, but as he does it, he overshoots the fuck out of it. Flies over, hits Ciampa, but he flies over like a table, bashes his knee into like one of those equipment boxes where they put all the equipment in, bashes his knee into it. He's, you know, selling the knee's hurt, so he's selling it. And at this point, referee's counting to 10, and, you know, once 9 hits, Ciampa's on an elevated stage. So with Ciampa being the smart motherfucker that he is, he just rolls over, or he rolls over and just stands up, and just, you know, falls down and stands up. So he's standing up at 9, Gargano's still down selling the knee, and then of course the 10 count hits. Tommaso Ciampa, that bald motherfucker, is still the NXT champion, while Johnny Gargano once again let his hatred get the best of him and end up costing him not only the win, but the NXT championship as well. So Tommaso Ciampa retains against Johnny Gargano. Like I said, great main event. I was into it. You know, it didn't stick out to me like the other two. Like, of course, the other 2 matches, you can do these spots, and you had the emotional story as well into it. Like, this one, obviously, this match kind of came out of nowhere just because they had to remove somebody, and they had to throw stipulation. From what I understand, this was supposed to be the original match anyways at TakeOver Chicago 2, but still, though, you know, they didn't have the backstory to it. They had the backstory, of course, but they didn't have more adding to it, to this match they did for, you know, TakeOver Chicago 2 in New Orleans. So, I don't know, the fact that this is last minute change, and, you know, you can't really fault them. You know, they worked great still, don't get me wrong, it's still a great match, but just doesn't hold up to the other 2 if you ask me. But yeah, Tommaso Ciampa is still NXT champion, beats Johnny Gargano, and we'll see where this, you know, leads going forward. Of course, the next TakeOver is TakeOver War Games 2 in November, so we have some time to build, you know, either to another match in the 2, or maybe a potential different challenger for Tommaso Ciampa in the future. So yeah, that's the way the show ended, with Gargano selling his knee and pretty much crying as, you know, Ciampa held the championship up. So that's it for the show, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I thought, you know, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 was a great show, but, you know, it doesn't withhold the last couple takeovers. I definitely enjoyed this TakeOver Brooklyn more than last year's. I thought last year's was a great show, but I feel like this one definitely had a lot more good on the show than that last year's. I just thought everything was just on a different level compared to last year's. So definitely enjoyed it, but like I said, just, you know, doesn't really compare to the last 2 takeovers, but doesn't take away how good it was. Doesn't take away the quality of the show just because it wasn't as good as something. So that's my takeaway from TakeOver. But yeah, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please like below. And of course, for my SummerSlam review tomorrow night, I'll see you guys, and thank you guys for watching the video.